Well, John, thanks very much for speaking to us. Once again, Betfred World Championship on the horizon, an event you've obviously got a great history in, but given the form you're in this year, how much are you relishing this particular edition?
I don't think I'm relishing it any more or any less than any other year. I think it's always a special occasion when you know you're coming round and it's like a week or two to go before it comes on. That's when you sort of get your practice head on and you really want to try to put some good practice in, because you know it could be a long, now 17 or 18 days. So, but no, it's obviously got to give me some confidence the way I played in the Players' Championship.
It's just too good.
Obviously, to get to where you've got in the game and achieve what you've done, you've got to have huge amounts of belief. But in the past few years, would you have, even you have wondered whether that level of dominance throughout a whole event would be achievable again? It was a remarkable performance.
Well, I've never done that. I don't think winning any event really. As I say, maybe after it, I'm one of the type of players that maybe scrapes over the line in a lot of rounds. I don't normally beat my opponent convincingly, but I done it for the 4 matches there. I was really strong, and I felt round about just at Christmas time when I come back to playing, and as I said, I was working on something. I felt my game was there. Although I didn't have any wins, I obviously got close. I lost to Yan Bingtao in the Masters, but I felt some of my other matches I was hitting the ball pretty well, and the other guys were just beating me. But I was hoping my win would be around the corner, but you never can tell nowadays.
Yeah, how important has that technical change that you've talked about a little bit, moving your starting point closer to the white, just not just in the technical impact it's had, but the kind of having the project to work on the practice table and the hunger to get out in the horizon?
Yeah, it's been massive for me, because I think it's always good to work on something, and I've maybe been one of those players over the years. I maybe just go with the flow, and I've maybe sometimes not got anything to work on. But that's definitely helped me, I think, in my practice form, and then I'm hoping I can bring it into the match arena. Yeah.
And just to look at that Players' Championship specifically, the match that I've got to hone in on is that Mark Selby win. That you had brilliant tournaments throughout the whole way, but to limit a player of his standing to 3 pots in an entire match, just 7 points,
yeah.
Would you think, is that the best individual match of your career?
Probably, yeah. I mean, when you think of someone as good as Mark, and to only limit him to 7 points, it's hard enough doing that one frame, never mind 6 consecutive frames. So, no, it was a great win for me to beat someone as good as Mark that convincingly. So, that obviously gave me the confidence to go ahead against Kyron and then Ronnie in the final. Obviously, that was maybe the catalyst that game.
And looking at the World Championship, in previous years, the 2017 final against Mark Selby, 2018 against Mark Williams, you were very honest in the aftermath of that about how hard it hit you and perhaps how it was a bit difficult to get over at the start of the following seasons. You had a difficult loss earlier this year against Yan Bingtao in the Masters final, and you admitted that hit you quite hard. But what do you think the difference is? That seems to have almost sparked the hunger in you. It seems to have been a catalyst for your form rather than maybe knocking you off your stride.
Yeah, but I think this year, obviously with everything that everybody's been going through, I think my mental state has been pretty good, because it's hit everybody really hard. It's hit everybody in different ways, and I was sitting thinking, now as I'm near the end of my career, I'm thinking, God, who knows what's going to happen here? And it sort of gave me, I wouldn't say a kick up the backside, because I've never took the game for granted, but I think it maybe puts things into perspective. And even when I lost to Bingtao, it was a tough loss, but I was still trying to take the positives to try and go on for the rest of the year. And what I was working on, hopefully it would maybe turn round about. As I say, you never can tell, but it obviously turned round about with the players, and then and I'm just gearing up now for the last couple of months.
This for the 11th Crucible Maximum.
What a
moment for John Higgins. Sensational display.
Had a fantastic record over the last 4 years, 3 finals in a row, a 147 last year. But is it slightly different coming into this one in that you almost found the best form of your season at the Crucible in those years, whereas you're actually taking great form in this year? Does that change the dynamic at all?
No, because I've always been of the opinion as well, it really doesn't matter how your form is. I don't think before you get to the Crucible, as I said, I've went there maybe not in great form and had good tournaments, and then I've went there been in good form and I've had good tournaments, but I've also went there maybe confident other years and I've bombed out in the first round, so you just never can tell. It's such a tough tournament to get your teeth into. I think the first match is always so important. I think if you can go over your first match and you can build a bit of confidence, build your way into the event, that's when it's good. But it's such a tough first round opening for all the top seeds.
It was obviously a very strange year last year, having behind closed doors and all sorts going on. But you had that 147 against Kurt Mafton. It's a special moment making a 147 at the Crucible. Were you able to enjoy it given the disappointment of losing the match, or what was it?
No, it's obviously a big milestone in my career. I've never had one at the Crucible. The previous year I had a good chance against Judd, and I says it was the crowd's fault because they were giving me such a rapturous applause. But when I'd done a crazy double to get on the final black, I was bursting to hurry up and play the black because I could feel my nerves building, and the crowd were going on and clapping, and then I missed the black. But I think it definitely helped me without the crowd being there, because I've been on a few maximums over the years there, and the crowd is just so close to you, so intense, and I've just always faltered at the end, but I've been close to getting one. So maybe when the crowd not been there, it probably did help me.
And after such a difficult year, hopefully we've got a bit of light at the end of the tunnel now, and one of those things is the fact that we're going to have fans at the Crucible this year. Yeah. What do you think it will be like walking out in front of fans? We've got used to this behind closed doors environment. Do you think there'll be sort of extra butterflies before that?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, even last year, I still felt the butterflies because it was a Crucible. You're still playing in such a great an arena, but I think it will tip people more because we've been out of the swing of things now without the crowd and everything been there, and I think everyone will be just that little bit more nervous because the crowds are in and everybody's trying to put on a show for the crowd, and so it's going to be a special tournament. I think really special tournament for everyone involved in it.
Yeah, I was speaking to Jack Lazowski about it, and he was actually saying he thinks it'll be quite an emotional moment, actually, given the year everyone's been through, being able to walk out and perform in front of fans again. Yeah,
very well. Yeah, Jack was probably right saying that. Now everybody will be beginning into that first match, walking out of the Crucible with all different emotions which went on in their own lives in the last year. So, yeah, I think the 32 players they'll all have different emotions, I'm sure, walking down these stairs.
And finally, a slightly cliched question, but it's been 10 years since you last lifted the trophy at the Crucible. Given the near misses over that period since then, just how much would it mean to lift the trophy again this year?
Well, I can only say it's meant a great deal winning my last tournament there. The Players' League, that was a 3-year gap, and it's meant a hell of a lot to me. So if I could win the World Championships with a 10-year gap, that would top the lot. That would be, yeah, without a single doubt, it'd be the greatest achievement in my career. Yeah.